Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and it's about 1:30 in the morning here in Chicago. Actually, 2:30 a.m. Eastern time. I still consider myself an Eastern time kind of guy as opposed to Central. But anyway, I was thinking about this unfortunate, tragic shooting that occurred in Charleston, South Carolina, at the Emmanuel AME Church. Denmark Vesey, who led a slave revolt, was one of the founders of the church. And and I like Denmark Vesey a lot because actually had a liberation theology, which I think is very, very important for us as Black people. We need to make our spiritual journey deeply integrated with our journey to be free, and I think that is a remarkable thing. And as you can tell, I've been thinking about this a lot. I've been talking about this for the last few hours because I'm kind of just sort of on this trying to think about what happened, why it might have happened, how to respond to what happened, things like that. And I had to make a quick comment about something that I just saw. I saw Al Sharpton on MSNBC talking about what just happened. And I don't know how people see Sharpton. I think he's lost a lot of street cred. I feel like a lot of people don't have faith in his ability to lead as an authentic leader of the Black community. Meaning, you put the interests of the Black community first, above your own interests and above the interests of whoever it is that might be paying you to do a certain job. We know that pretty clearly Sharpton gets paid, or well, it gets taken care of by corporate America. He gets taken care of by the government. He's deeply embedded with the Obama administration to the point where it's almost like he works for Obama. And I wouldn't say it's an employer-employee relationship, but it's definitely a quid pro quo. Even his gig in MSNBC, believe me, if he were out here doing what Cornel West did and saying certain things about the president, he wouldn't have that job at MSNBC. If you notice, most of the MSNBC paid employees pretty much do what the White House tells them to do, or they say what the White House tells them to say. There might be modest criticism, but there's not much. And I was listening to Sharpton's interview, and I was listening to it very carefully, and I couldn't help but notice that repeatedly throughout this interview, he kept on talking about being peaceful. In so many words, I mean, saying basically communicating the idea of remaining calm and rational and not overreacting, seeing the long term view of this, and he said, I always want to reiterate to people that the way you should respond. And it was so interesting to me because when I think about a leader, when I think about somebody who represents the interests of the people who are being oppressed, you're going to spend more time talking about getting justice than you are about calming people down. Look, don't retaliate, don't retaliate, don't retaliate. Well, maybe people aren't feeling that way right now. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be peaceful. I'm not saying that at all. In fact, if somebody said, "Look, if you're gonna fight this, let's not fight this with violence. Let's find another way," I would probably say, you know what? I think that's not a bad idea. But I'm not gonna keep reiterating that over and over again, especially if I'm making the peacefulness remark more than I'm making the remarks that refer to actually getting justice for the people that I represent. As a black man, and I've been a black man for a while now, and I care about black people. Even when black people attack me, which some black people do, I get attacked sometimes. I just try to tell you the truth in terms of what I think. But I do care about black people, and as a person who cares about black people, my thought is, well, the black community should come first in your dialogue. I mean, the first thing you need to talk about is that we demand justice for what happened to these people. We need to look at the city of Charleston and the racism that's there. Because remember, Walter Scott was just shot in the back by a police officer not too long ago. So you're getting this terrorism. It is terrorism coming from the Charleston police, who are supposed to be the people who are supposed to get you justice from the other terrorists, who this crazy kid who went into a church and shot a bunch of people up. So you got the terrorists that are supposed to protect you from the other terrorists. So you're caught in the middle. So that's a whole lot of injustice. I mean, that really all goes all the way back to what Denmark Vesey dealt with when he founded his church. There were spies in the church. There were people there who were concerned because he was teaching black people how to read. Oh my God, what's wrong with that, right? And they were basically arresting the members of the church for no reason, and doing all these things to terrorize these people. And then here's the other funny thing too. We've got the terrorists, with the skinhead type terrorists, the racists. We got the terrorists in the police department, and then we have terrorists in our own community. We have snitches and sellouts and people who will just jump up and run and tell massa that you're planning on having a revolt. And that's how Denmark Vesey got brought down, was by his, it wasn't by the white man, it was by his own people that went to conspire with the massa to tell the massa that the revolt was going to happen. And it's not a coincidence, I think, that this revolt occurred around the very same time that this shooting has occurred. A lot of people are making that connection. I don't doubt that there might be something to it. I don't know that part. I have not confirmed, but the fact of the matter is that this is kind of the same old thing. This is what South Carolina's been getting: the same old, same old, same old, same old, same old, same old, same old for 300-400 years. And the main thing that one of our leading African American so-called advocates has to say about this is, well, y'all Negroes be peaceful, and be patient. Well, there's no more time to be patient. You've been patient for 300-400 years. I mean, what, you gonna wait another 300 years to get justice? No, that's not a good idea, because it probably won't work. So I'm not telling people how to respond to this one way or the other, but I am here to say that being unapologetically black is very important. Demanding justice on this is very, very important. But demanding broader justice in that city where black people are consistently under attack from various forces, I think that's absolutely got to occur. And the fact is that, as Malcolm always said, people don't give you justice. You have to kind of take it. So you can't really take it a lot of times by being peaceful. Sometimes you got to go in there and be willing to do what you got to do. So, I'm not saying that Al Sharpton really had any ill intent on this, but I do think it's very, very funny that, I put it this way: my theory, my belief, honestly, is that I feel like there are certain individuals whose role it is for the White House to control and contain black people, to take all this energy, ball it up, and then make it dissipate so that it goes away, to distract the energy, make the energy watered down, make it go away. Because when black people become informed and we become courageous and we become demanding in terms of getting the justice that we know we deserved 100 years ago, that's when the system starts to get a little nervous. That's when people start to get scared. So I would say that in terms of how people respond to this, I really hope that they kind of let Al Sharpton stay in New York. People in Charleston should handle this in Charleston. You got leaders in Charleston. You got brothers from the Nation of Islam in Charleston. You got church leaders in Charleston, some of whom are not that bad. I mean, I know a lot of people give black pastors a hard time, and some of them are ridiculous. We know that. But there are some pastors out there who really do care about their people, who really are courageous about standing up and doing what is right. So I think that the people in Charleston should handle it. It should be similar to Baltimore and Ferguson, in that you tell a lot of these folks outside. You can let some outsiders in if you believe in what they have to say and they can bring good attention to the issue. That's fine. But for the most part, if we continue to try the same methods, we're going to get the same results. You see, and if you notice that all the cities, the hundreds of cities that Sharpton has traveled to over the years, whenever an injustice has occurred, basically the energy dissipated and it didn't turn into much of anything. There was maybe a march and a rally and a couple good speeches, and then you went back to business as usual. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. I just know it ain't working. That's all I really want to say. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World. Please take care. God bless. And I am gone. Peace.